Yes, guys, welcome back once again. We will go for next concept. What is the next concept is what? How to interact with the Excel application or how to read the data from the Excel sheet and how to write the data to the Excel sheet. Why read and write operation is required to the Excel sheet in Selenium automation? Actually, whenever we are going to automate any application and we are having a huge data, okay, we are having a huge stage data. For those huge stage data, instead of preparing those data hard coded in the script, we are going to prepare. This is, let's suppose, our script. Instead of preparing that hard coded data in the script, we are going to get that test data from the external resource like Excel sheet, from database, like that. So we are going to use Excel sheet to prepare the test data. But Selenium doesn't support for, like, Selenium couldn't able to automate any desktop based application. This is a desktop based application. This Excel sheet is a desktop based application. You see, this is a Microsoft application. If you go to there, this is my Excel sheet. This is my Excel application. Yes or no? This is my Excel application, and this is my desktop based application. And Selenium doesn't support for this application. Then how to automate this Selenium Excel sheet and how to feed the data to the Excel app, like to the application, to get the data from the Excel sheet, and how we are going to feed the data to the application. So guys, to do this operation, we are having a one advanced API that is called POI API. POI API. So this Apache, this is coming from Apache POI API. Apache is like openly available, freely available. So we can go and we can able to download this API, or we can able to use these packages, POI API packages. Packages. What is mean by packages? Packages are packages just hold group of classes and interfaces and abstract classes. So similarly, in this POI API, we are having the same things. Classes dot class files only. Okay, dot class files. So group of classes, interfaces, and abstract classes. We are going to use those already implemented API, okay, already implemented classes and interface in our framework. But how to use this? How to use this? So first of all, we will understand what is our Excel application. Excel application is, so very first we are having an Excel application. This is my Excel application. Architectural hierarchy of Excel application I am discussing here. This is my Excel application. Under that the Excel application, we will get a workbook. Under that workbook, we will get a sheet. Under that sheet, we will be having a row and column. Yes or no? So this is my Excel application architectural hierarchy. This is Excel application architectural hierarchy. So I will show you practically what exactly this. Okay, what exactly these are. So these are just, this is my Excel application. When we go to the Excel application, just go to the desktop, and on desktop you see here I have a one application, Excel application. I have created one sheet only, Excel sheet, with the name test data. This is my Excel sheet. Let me open this Excel sheet. Once you open this Excel sheet, it will take time. Let it be. This is actually Excel. Once you open this Excel, you will get this workbook. Observe carefully. Once you open this Excel, at top you will get this workbook, test data, Microsoft Excel. Okay. So this is product, no worry about this. This is my Excel. Once we open this Excel, whole this part is workbook. On that workbook, you will get sheet. This is sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3 at bottom. You can see at left hand side bottom. So if you open one more sheet 4, sheet 5, sheet 6, sheet 7, like that we can able to create multiple sheets. Under that sheet, these horizontal part are rows. Okay, these are rows. So if you go horizontally, like vertically below 1, 2, 3, these are the rows. And if you go horizontally, these are the columns, rows and columns. So this is my first row, first column, first row, second column, first row, third column, first row, fourth column, fifth column, sixth column. Then second row, third row, fifth row, okay, sixth row, seventh row, eighth row, like that. These are my rows, okay. And these are columns. So this row and this column. We are going to, this is the architectural hierarchy of Excel application. And to interact with this Excel application for each and every activity, like how to interact with the Excel sheet, then after that, how to interact with the workbook, how to interact with the sheet, how to interact with the row, how to interact with the columns, then after that, how to get the data from the row and column, and how to update the data to the row and column for each and every activity. So we have a interfaces and abstract classes. So those interfaces, for each and every interfaces, we have a implementation classes. You know, we are having a interface. Interface holds only abstract method. Yes or no? Interface holds only abstract method. For those abstract methods, already we have a implementation classes. We are going to use those implementation classes here, simply, directly. So this is my Excel application, and this is my workbook and sheet. So clear about the Excel application architectural hierarchy about Excel application? Yes, please. And one more thing is, guys, if you check, just right click on here on this file and go to property. If you check what is the extension of this file, just go to the security. The extension of this file is, you see, I will copy this location and we'll move to the, is there notepad? Yes. If you go to and move to the Excel, the application, like Excel sheet name is what? Test data. This is my file. And what is the extension? .xlsx. So you may get, like, we are using a latest Excel. Okay, latest Microsoft Excel. But if you are going to use any other Excel, whose extension is what? .xlx. XLX. XLX or SLX, like that. If their extension is XLX, XLX, so if any file will be there whose extension is what? XLX, so we are having a different interfaces, different APIs for this extension file and for this extension file. What are those APIs? So this is the newly and this is the older one. So what are those APIs are? So if you want to interact with this Excel file with the extension .xlsx, so we are going to use the API. Okay. So first of all, to interact with this file, this is file. You know, this is my file. And to interact with any file, we are going to use the concept of file IO concept. You know, file IO concept. File input output operation. What are the operations you want to do with the file? This is my Excel file. I want to do input operation and output operation. Input operation means what? Read operation. Output operation means what? Like read and write. Input and output means what? Read and write operation. So whatever activity you want to do with the file, we are going to use the use file IO concept here. So let's suppose we are going to read the data from the file. We are going to use file input stream. Okay, we are going to use input stream classes. And if you want to write the data to the file, we are going to use output stream classes. This input stream for read operation and for output stream for write operation. So first of all, we should have to load the file where exactly the file is present. Then after that, once we loaded the file, then after that we are gonna interact with the file. So whose file is what? XLSS and HLSS. So you know, to interact with the file, we are having for SLXS, we are having a one class XSS workbook class. Okay, workbook class. So this workbook class will implement one of the interface. The interface name is what? XSS workbook. Okay. So similarly, for this, just one change. If we are having a file with the extension .xlx, then we are having only one change. The class name is what? The class name is what? Okay, XSS workbook class. What is the class name? XSS workbook class. Okay. So similarly, if you want to interact with the sheet, how will you interact with the sheet? To interact with the sheet, we have a XSS. Okay. So this is my workbook. We will get the workbook. First of all, we will load the file by using input stream by using input and output stream, we are going to load the file. Here also by using input and output stream, first of all, we will load the file. What are the input or output stream? Output stream. So we are going to use input and output stream for read and write operation here, as well as for this file also. For this one also, we are going to use input and output stream. And then after that, so we will get the workbook. Once we will get the workbook, under that workbook we are having a sheet. To get the sheet, we are having a one class XSF sheet. For this we will be having a XSF sheet, but for this we will having a one class. What is the class name? XSF sheet. XSF sheet. But guys, we are going to use only latest Excel sheet. Okay, latest Excel sheet whose extension is what? XLSX. Okay. Then once we get the sheet, what is next? Once we get the sheet, what is next? We are having a row. Okay. To get the row, we will use XSF row class. XSF row class. And here to get the row, we will use, so just one change, XSF row. XSF row. And to get the cell, we will use XSF cell. Okay, to get the column. And to get the column, here, XSF cell. Okay. Then after that, we are having a two interfaces, that is row and cell. Okay, row and cell also. So if you are going to go for row and cell, so here also we will use row and cell. So this row and cell we're gonna implement. Okay. So these are the implementation classes. These are the implementation classes for this POI API to perform the operation on the POI jars. Okay. To perform the operation on Excel application. Let's go ahead and we will implement this. Okay. From where we are going to use these jars, and we're gonna implement all these things. Okay. So let's go ahead. This is my Excel application. So to interact with Excel application, Selenium doesn't support directly automate this application. So we are going to use pure Java classes. So simply I will go. So I will go to the browser, any browser, and will download the files. But before that, what I will do? So this is my project. So in SRC, we will create a one package. Meanwhile, once the browser will open, we will download those jars. Again, POI jars are having a older version as well as latest one. So if you want to use older one, you can use older one, which is what 3 point something series, 3 point and above series, and latest ones are 4 point something series. Okay. So if you are going to use latest POI API jars, you will get a advanced features. If you are going to use this, so most of the methods from the older one, they are deprecated in this version. So they are not in use. So you can use any one of them. Okay. But few methods will be missed. You will miss in latest one. And you will get a few advanced features also. So it's opening the browser. Let it be. So let me create here one package. Right click on this SRC, new. And I will create package com.excel read and write. com.excel read and write operation. Just this. Excel operation only. Or com.excel data read write. So any meaningful name you can create. Okay, com.excel data read and write. So just I'm giving this package. Okay, so if you click on this, go to new, create a class. Let me create a class. So first of all, we will go to read the data. Okay, to read the data, I will create a class name Excel sheet data read. Okay, we are going to read the data from Excel sheet, Excel data reader. Okay, or we can give any meaningful name like Excel data reader. Okay, Excel data reader, Excel data writer. So this I will give some meaningful name, Excel data reader. Click on finish. So what I will do guys here, I will create at this project location in the current working directory, we'll create a one folder. So with the name test data, and within that folder, we will keep that Excel sheet, so that no need to go to another location to load that Excel sheet. Okay. So let's right click on this, Learn Selenium, go to new, click on folder and create a folder with the name test data. I will. Okay. So what I will do, so this Excel sheet, I will cut from here and will paste the location where this Excel sheet is there. How to go to this location? Simply right click on this test data, go to property. So this is the location. Here you can see one symbol. Just click on this symbol, arrow symbol. So it will open the location where this Excel sheet is there. So simply we are going to move to that location where the Excel sheet is. We are gonna store Excel test data. So it's opening actually. Let me click once again. So this is the location. Okay. This is the location test data. Just open this test data location and just at this location paste this file, the file which we are going to. So it's doing why it is opening, just because of that we have already opened this file. Just close this file. We'll close this file and we'll try once again. Now it should, you see, it's like we have loaded this file in the current working directory. You see, currently we don't have anything. Simply right click on this project, click on refresh. Once you click on refresh, you see test data got created. Okay. Now what you need to do, we wanna load this Excel, right? To load this Excel, let it be, as of now I will take main method only. So let's take main method. Here we are going to load. So how to specify the path of the file? To specify the path of the file, simply we will use file IO concept here. So to perform read and write operation, here we are going to let me by using file class, we will specify path of the file. So this file class we are going to use from IO package. So just import this class from IO package. Okay. And where this file is available in current working directory, we are having a one folder, test data folder. Within that, we are having a file name with the name test data.xlsx. Extension should be, you see, XLSX. So this is the file available at this location. By using file class, we are going to load this file. Which file? So this is my file. I will create local variable, means I'm going to create a reference for this. Once you loaded this file, what we are going to perform, which operation? To perform any read operation, we are going to use input stream classes. All the input, how many input stream classes we are having? Like file reader we are having, then after that we will be having like buffer reader. So most enhanced reader is what? Buffer reader. As well as we can, to read any stream, we will use file input stream class. Okay. So simply here, so I am going to perform read operation. I will instantiate file input stream object. File input stream object, I will specify the location of that file. So once you create file input stream object, will specify the file location. So FS is pointing to that file. So this is my file input stream object, and we'll create a reference for this file input stream also. Okay. So whenever you are going to interact with any file, it will like, so there might have a chances that file is not present. If that file is not present, so compiler, okay, compiler in advance, you're like throwing a one error, okay, during compilation time. This is the compilation time error. The compiler is giving one information. There might have a chances to that file is not available in the current working, like whatever working directory or whatever specified location you are mentioned here in that location. So can you please handle this exception? What is the exception? File not found exception. So simply simply just do mouse over on this file wherever the exception is having. So wherever you are getting error, and just throw this exception to the main method. So I will throw this exception, file not found exception. So this is the exception. Then after that, so once you loaded the file, once you specify the file, this is my Excel sheet, let's suppose, this is the Excel sheet. We are going to specify the location of this file, and we are going to perform the input step. We are going to perform the input means what? We are going to perform read operation. Now, so I want to open the workbook. This is my workbook. We want to open the workbook. To open the workbook, to interact with the workbook, so we are having a one class, XSSF workbook class. So but this XSF workbook class is not coming here. Why it is not coming? So this will be coming from the package that is called, it's the API of special Apache POI API. So we have to like configure all that that jars to the class path, our class path. So in working project, we have to like do some configuration. How to do this? So simply go to the Google, okay, and ask Google uncle to download. So let me close this. And just here, use download POI jars. Okay, if you click on download POI jars, so you will get, let's download this. Click on this download Redis artifact Apache POI. Once you will click, you will get this page. Okay, this is download page. So here guys, we have to download binary distribution, and always download zip file. We are working with Windows. So you see, this is the latest one, POI binary 4.1 something. I will click on this. Once you will click on this, again it will open one more, and from here just download this HTTP. Okay, so you can download this also, backup site also. Just we will download this one, first one. Just click on this. So what is the location? In September something, we have a library, Selenium, learn Selenium. Let it be as of now, we will download this at that location. So once you download this, in this location we are going to download, we'll create all library here. So driver we kept here, all drivers. Then after that, so learn Selenium, what we did. So this is our package in this current working directory only. And this is my Selenium jars. We kept all the Selenium jars here. So now what I will do, we'll create one folder here for POI API jars. So meanwhile, it will download it. And so this is my POI jar. POI jars library. I will say this is my POI jars library. Okay, once you create this folder, just open it. And here we will keep all the jars. Once these jars will get downloaded, just wait to download. Once it will download, guys, go to the location where you download in that folder. So this is the location where we downloaded. You see, POI API binary something. Let me cut this from here and we'll paste in this location. And then right click on this and extract here all this file. Once we will get extracted, it's taking time. So every configuration you should have to do with properly, okay? Downloading and configure, like adding the jars and all. So open this. You see, these are the files, as well as these are the OOXML 2 files, and then these are the remaining files. What we will do is here, so just right click or let it be, we'll directly add all this file. Okay, so how to add directly? Just go to the Eclipse. So this is our project. Right click on that project. Once you right click on that project, go to build path. Okay, where is build path? This is build path, and click on configure build path. So in our class path, we will add these jars. Okay, so add external jars, and this is my current working directory, current class path. So this is September. Under this, open this POI and just add all these 4 jars, 4 to 5 jars. Then after that, again click on add external jars, click on LID, add all these jars, all the packages. Again click on add external jars and click open this and add these 2 packages. Apply it and then close. So we're done. Like this, all the jars will be added, and then we are going to perform close operation. Now, once you added these jars in reference library, all those jars also will get Apache POI jars will be added in this reference library somewhere. Okay. So this is JRE library, Java library, and this is reference library. Somewhere in reference library, you see POI jars got added. Now, once we configure all jars, like once we configure all jars with our project, so now we will get a, so if you write XSF W workbook and control paste, so automatically you will get that class will be autocomplete. So that class should be autocomplete. Okay. So wait, why it is not auto-completed? You see, so this XSF. So if you see XSF workbook, this class is auto-completed. We are going to we are going to import this class from the package. What is the package? From user model, org Apache POI XSF user model package. This is XSF workbook class, and we just specify the location of that file input stream. So whenever you are going to implement this, it will throw you one more exception. So this is what IO exception. We are going to perform input output. So the moment you throw this IO exception, your file not found exception will be gone here. Why? This IO exception is the parent of IO exception class is the parent of file not found exception. Okay. So parent can hold child. That is why whatever exception this class will throw, file input stream class will throw, this IO exception class will handle those exceptions, because this IO exception is the parent class of this file not found exception. Okay, that is why we can able to throw. So this will gives you workbook object. Okay, this will gives you which object? Workbook object. If you mouse over and create local variable, you will get a workbook. On this workbook, we are gonna interact with guys. We are gonna interact with sheet. So we get on this workbook, we will get sheet. Okay. So there are 2 ways to get sheet. We can get the sheet based on sheet name. Okay. So this is what we just pass here sheet name. Based on sheet name, we will get the sheet, whatever sheet is there. So on which sheet we are going to work, and if you mouse over, it will give you XSF sheet object. XSF sheet object. Okay. So this is first way. What is the sheet name? If you go to the Excel, so where is the Excel? The Excel is what? In current working directory. If you go to that location, on the current working directory, what is the location? This is the location. If you right click, go to properties and open this location. Might be I have already been opened this location. So in this current working directory, if you open this, so here, this is my sheet. Let me open this sheet, test data sheet. So this is sheet. Under that sheet, this is Excel application. Under that Excel application, we will be having workbook. So this is workbook. Under this workbook, we are having a multiple sheet. So on which sheet you are going to interact? This is, let's suppose I am going to create. This is my employee ID, or let's say employee name, and employee location. So employee name and employee location is there within the sheet, and I want to read this data, employee name and employee location. Let's suppose I will say employee name version, location Pune. Okay, and you will say Ankita, and the location is what? Hyderabad, HYD. We'll say Raman, location is Aurangabad. Okay, like that. This is the data. We want to read this data. Okay, so but this data we have kept within the sheet 1. Okay, not within sheet 1, where exactly we kept. So within sheet C1. Okay, so let me cut this and we'll keep within sheet 1. So this is the data within sheet 1. We will keep. Just delete this file, don't require. Okay, this much of file. This is sheet 1. What is the sheet name? Sheet name is what? Sheet name. Based on sheet name, we can able to get that sheet. This is my sheet located at, this is my sheet whose name is what? Sheet 1. So we can get that sheet 1 also. This sheet 1 is located at index 0. So we can get another way to get this sheet is what? On this workbook object. So on this workbook object, we can get sheet based on name, we get based on index. At index, you know, every sheet will be located. This is the sheet 1 located at 0th index. This is the sheet 2 located at first index, second index, third index, fourth index, like that. So we have a sheet 1, which is location index 0, which is located at index 0. So simply it will return you which object? Sheet object. Simply it will return you sheet object if you look mouse over and do. So you see, we are getting sheet. Once we will get sheet, on that sheet, we will get to know that how many number of rows are there. Okay, we can able to count how many number of rows are there. Okay, so on that sheet, just use get last row number. So this get last row number will help us to how many number of rows are there. It will count the number of rows and return you row count. Simply return you row count. Just mouse over and create local variable. So you know, this is our sheet. Within this sheet, how many number of rows are there? 0, 1, 2, 3. So four rows are there. Okay. So the number of data you will prepare, that number of rows will be treated. Okay. So number of rows are 4. Similarly, if you want to know how many number of columns are there, so we will focus any of the row, and on that row we will get how many number of columns are there. How to get? So we will get on this sheet. So first of all, we will focus on one of the row, get row. Let's suppose I will focus on first row and get last field number. So simply what we are doing here, so we are focusing on this first row. From this first row, we are like counting how many number of columns are there. You can focus any of the row. Okay, simply it will return you column counts. Okay, so call counts, okay, and simply return type of this also integer. So simply it will return you how many number of rows are there within the sheet, means how many number of rows data already prepared. So I will say number of rows are, so that row count, simply I will display row count, and number of columns are this out. How many number of columns are? Number of columns are that column count. Simply print this column count. Now we get to know that how many number of rows are there, how many number of columns are there. Now what I want to do now, I want to read the data, and all the data is what you see. So this is my data. This is 2D array kind of things. This is only 2D array kind of thing. Okay. So this is my zeroth row, zeroth column. This is zeroth cell, zeroth row, and this is first cell. Then this is second row. This is third row, and this is fourth row. You know, this is a 2D array. We want to retrieve the data. You know, if you use 00, which data you will get? This data, employee name. If you use 01, which data you will get? Employee location. If you use 10, which data you will get? Vasant. If you use 11, which data you will get? Pune, like that. So we are going to, like, particularly on that location, I want to retrieve the data. How to retrieve? So to retrieve the data to the Excel sheet, so I will say, okay, so on that sheet dot, I want to retrieve the data on row number. So simply I will say at 0th row dot get cell, at 0th cell I want to retrieve the data which was string type. Okay, get. So what is the data type? The data type we have prepared, string data type. Get string cell value. So simply it will return you, so string object. Okay, simply it will return you, so the data at row 00. So simply what data it will return you? The data at row 00. Simply return that data. So I will display that data, return as well as display the data at row 00. At row 00. Simply if you want to return the data, retrieve the data at location, another location 00, 01, 02, 03. So like particularly data we are going to retrieve. Okay. So at 0th row, 0th column we retrieve. Then at 0th row, first column we will retrieve. At 0th row, first column, whatever data will be there. And then we will display that 0th row, first column. Then first row, 0th column. Okay. First row, 0th column. And whatever first row, 0th column data will be there. So simply we'll display. Then first row, first column. Okay. At first row, first column, whatever data will be there, I am going to retrieve that data. Okay, first row, first column. Then first row, second column, whatever data will be there. Like, sorry, what is the row? So this is first row, this is second row. Second row, 0th column. So what is the second row? Just update second row, 0th column. So this second row, 0th column data we are going to retrieve. Then second row, first column we are going to retrieve. Second row, first column data, and I am going to display that data also. Second row, first column data. So you see, every time what we did. So this is my, like this. Observe carefully. This is my 0th row, 0th column, 0th row, first column. Then this should be 0th row, first column. Then this is first row, 0th column. Then first row, first column. Then second row, 0th column. Then what? Second row, first column, like that. Whatever data we have did, we updated. And all the data is what? What is the type of the data? String type. If you are going to like retrieve the data, which is what other type. So like numeric type or floating type, we can able to, like, let's suppose I will say here mobile number, or I will say here what I will say employee ID. So this employee ID At what location? 0th row, second column. Yes or no? 0th row, second column. At 0th row, second column, what is the data type? At 0th row, second column, what is the data type? String type only. Okay. So 0th row, second column, what is the data type? So this is my 0th row, and what is the column name? String type. So I'm going to display that value. Okay. So this is employee ID. But at employee ID, we are going to create. So at first row, second column. So employee ID was 111. This is employee ID was 112, and employee ID was 113. So one of the employee ID we will retrieve. One of the employee ID we will retrieve, and I will take this employee ID is what? Numeric type. Okay. So when I use before this number, just one single quote here, it will be convert into what? Numeric type. Okay. Otherwise, whatever employee ID number you have written, it will be treated as a text value, string value only. Okay. So I have converted it into what? Numeric type. So directly I will display. Okay. Instead of storing, directly we will display those values. So sysout I will write sit.getRow.getCell, and what is the cell type? That cell type. Sit on that sit, I will get the row. What is the row number? First row. Row number is what? This first row dot get cell. Sorry. Get row. This method get row. On first row, we will get the cell dot get cell. What is the cell number? Second cell. And what is the cell type? Get numeric cell type. Okay, get numeric cell value. This is numeric cell value. Similarly, for second row, first row we have written, second row and third row we will return. This is my second row. Numeric like cell value will become third row. Okay, like that directly I have displayed here. So like that we are going to read. If you want to read that particular data, which may be a numeric type, which may be a boolean type, which may be a string type, you can able to retrieve that data. Let's try to run this file and let's see it can able to read the data or not. Finally, once you done the work with this workbook, please close this workbook. Okay, perform close operation. Once you will close this, close the resource. This resource. Don't keep it as a open. So we will close this resource. Okay, save this and let me try to run this file. Let's see it will open it, like it will run this or it will read the file or not. Okay, simply I will save this file and will close this file. Okay, right click on run as Java application. We are going to run this application as a Java application. Okay. So particular data we are reading. That particular data we are reading from the Excel sheet. So not printing anything. Yes. So how many number of rows are there? You see to the console. If you go to the console, how many number of rows are there? The number of rows are 3 and the number of columns are 3. So at 0, 0 location, whatever data will 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, then 2, 0, 2, 1, and then employee ID. Why don't it display the data, which is what numeric cell data? Let me check. So sit get row. Oh. So what is the row number? First row, second cell is displaying that get string cell value, get numeric cell value. Why the numeric cell value not display? So then what we did, so you know this is Excel sheet. If you go to the Excel sheet, this is my Excel sheet. Within this Excel sheet, this is a numeric data, right? This is numeric data. But if you see, if you right click on this cell and click on format cell, what is the type of the data? In Excel sheet also we are having a type. If you right click on this and formatting cell, the type of the data should be text. You see, in general, this triple one, the type of the data is general data. Okay, general format cell having specific. So you know how many type of data we have? Numeric type we have, currency we have, like date we have, text also we have. But it will be treated as a type of, in general, it will be treated as a text one. Okay, text. But whenever we are going to retrieve the data in general data, this is a floating value. When you retrieve the data, you will get a extra data, 0.0 data. We don't want. That is why we typecasted this. And when you display this data, when you run this, exactly that employee ID also you will get 111, like that. Exact. What is the employee ID there? Located at this location. First row, 0th column, that employee ID you will get. Then second row, second column, that employee ID you will get. So if you want to display this row also, okay, third row, second column, that data also you can able to display or retrieve from the file. You see, what is the row? Row is what? Third row. What is the column? Column will be fixed. Okay, column will be fixed. Just display that data. That data also you can able to retrieve from that file. You see. So that is 112 only. Might be I didn't change. This should be other data 113, not a duplicate one. And let me run last time. Okay, number of rows are 3, number of columns are 3. So it will count the number of rows from 0th count. You see, we are going to start the index from 0, right? 0, 1, 2, 3. Like, how many number of rows are there? 4 number of rows. Okay. How many? And we are going to count these rows from 0th. Like, how many number of rows are there? Actually, 4 number of rows are there. 4. Whenever you are trying to get the last row number, so it will return you last row, like total number of rows, whatever total number of rows are there within the sheet, that -1. It will give last row number, like that. If you want to count how many total number of rows are there, that total number of rows, do 1 plus 1 plus 1. It will be count like total number of rows. If you go to the Excel sheet, so where is the Excel sheet? This is your Excel sheet, and observe carefully. How many number of rows are there? 4 number of rows. But when we count the number of rows by using get last row number, we are retrieving only 3. Okay, simply it will get last row number method will return you total number of rows within the Excel sheet -1. It will give you last row number. So if you want to get a exact count, simply how many number of rows you are returning by using get last row number method, just do 1 plus 1. So it will be a total number of rows, and it's returning number of columns. How many number of columns we have? 3 only. We can getting a number of columns 3 only. Am I clear? For getting a number of rows and number of columns, that 2 methods. So this is important. These 2 methods are important. Okay, get last row number and get last column number. This is row count. If you want to get exact row count, simply use number of row count, get last row number plus 1. So it will give you exact row count. Okay. So it's running at background. You see, no, it's done. Appended the data. You don't want to append this data. Okay, it appended the data. You don't want to append last row number plus 1. Yes or no? So this is it's returning 3. 3 plus 1 is appending the data. String plus something, string, and then you see how many number of rows? Exact row count we are getting now 4. Just because of that, get last row number plus 1 we did here. So I hope I'm clear now.